Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Andor series, Matt Smith and more. Before we dive into it my friends, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button down below if you've not done so already, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to begin with the Andor series. Yesterday we got the massive announcement that we're going to be getting a sizzle reel for the show on Disney Plus Day, as well as a Kenobi teaser trailer. But now we have some new information provided to us by the playlist editor-in-chief Rodrigo Perez. According to them, the Andor series will have 3 seasons, with Tony Gilroy staying on for all 3. Perez went on to add that it's all based on how well the Andor series performs, but production for season 1, in spite of its delays, went so well to the extent that there is a plan to renew for at least 2 more seasons. This is truly amazing news, and it means that the story is going to be properly fleshed out. On top of this, as we know, season 1 itself is going to be the longest season of a live-action Star Wars project, with a total of 12 episodes. To put that into perspective, that is at least 6 hours of Andor in its first season. We've had no specific plot details just yet, but the rumours we've heard and the little tidbits here and there have been fascinating. Personally, I've heard a few very exciting details for the series in terms of what the show hopes to achieve, as well as a couple of unexpected cameos. As you guys know, I'm friends with a crew worker on set, and they were filming part of the series just around the corner from where I live. So what I was told has increased my excitement for the series from like a 6 to a solid 10 out of 10. And even though we know the outcome and the fate of the main character later on in Rogue One, Lucasfilm are using the Andor series as a vessel to tell some important stories from this point in the timeline, specifically regarding the rebellion at this stage. That's all I can say, but if you're on the fence about the show, you're definitely in for a surprise that you didn't expect. I think the greatest takeaway from this piece of news is that Tony Gilroy is going to be the writer for all 3 seasons, so there will be some consistency and a properly planned story arc across the show's longevity. And it's also great news for one other beloved character from Rogue One, K2SO. Alan Tudyk said that the character will not be returning in season 1, but the fact that Andor is now going to have 3 seasons means that we could definitely get him in season 2 or 3. He has shown interest in reprising the role, but confirmed he had no involvement in season 1. And just to add to this, I'm stoked for November 12th, guys. We're getting our first look at the show, and even though we got a sizzle reel last December, this one is going to be more of a teaser, or who knows, maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a full trailer. Disney Plus Day is also set to give us plenty of other goodies, like footage for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, announcements for new shows, and more. Let the following sentence really sink in. In 8 days' time, we're going to be getting Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan again, as well as an Andor teaser trailer. Is it Christmas, guys? Because it definitely feels like it. And speaking of Christmas, this year, once December the 25th has passed, we don't have to be sad, because 4 days later, on the 29th, it'll be Christmas all over again with the premiere of the Book of Boba. Star Wars has always been my escape, and has always made me feel young, like the first time I saw it when I was 6 years old. But this is a whole new level of excitement. The best news we've had in a very long time, and as Count Dooku says,
I've been looking forward to this.
So now, my dear Megalorians, let's move on to our next piece of news. You may have seen this yesterday, but Matt Smith has opened up about how he almost had a significant role in The Rise of Skywalker. There were rumours about him being involved in early 2019, but now he's confirmed that he was almost in the movie. Having said that, he did not disclose the role he was going to play, and also made it clear that he never filmed any scenes and never was in costume. But he added that his role would have been transformative to the franchise. Now, a lot of people have speculated that he was going to play a young version of Palpatine in flashbacks, but I lean more towards the idea that he was going to play a young Palpatine clone, a clone body that would have been used as a vessel for Palpatine's life essence transfer. Essentially, this is a new host for him, instead of the decrepit one we saw him use on Exegol in episode 9. Now, while this would have been awesome to see, it's never too late to cast him if they ever do decide to explore Palpatine's backstory in live action. If they ever decide to recanonize and show elements of the Darth Plagueis novel, I would think that Matt Smith would make a pretty good young Palpatine. My only issue with this, and this is very subjective, I don't know if I'd want them to explore Palpatine's backstory in a project. Plagueis I would love to see, and the Acolyte would be perfect for that, but in terms of Palpatine himself, I worry that they're going to ruin his character for a second time. There comes a point with some of these legacy characters where they should just leave them alone. I'd rather they canonize the James Luceno novel and leave it at that. Not everything has to be shown in a series or a movie, some parts parts of the universe are best left for the realm of novels or simply the imagination. And this is just my opinion, guys, which in large part is shaped around the fact that Palpatine is my favourite character, and I hold the Darth Plagueis book in the highest regard when it comes to my headcanon. Even if it's Legends, I consider it canon, and so do a number of fans who love that book. I'd much rather they don't mess with the young Palpatine. No shade on Matt Smith, I think he'd be brilliant in the role, but I'd prefer if they left the character alone. Now, just to address a potential counter-argument, I'm fully aware that the Mandalorian universe is going to involve the Imperial Remnant's plan for Palpatine's contingency, and I'm perfectly happy with that. We know the end result, and even if I don't like episode 9, it is what it is, it's canon. That's the story we got, and Favreau and Filoni might try to give it some more context, but it's not going to change. Unless, of course, they do decide to mess with the world between worlds, but I am aware that this is not popular. We've even seen them take the first steps towards this in Carl Weathers' episode, Chapter 12, The Siege. So those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So now, my dear friends, we're going to move on and talk about the Book of Boba Fett, because in a passing sentence on Instagram, Robert Rodriguez has teased that the trailer we got for the Book of Boba is only the first one. November 12th is just around the corner, and we might get a second Book of Boba Fett trailer. As long as it doesn't reveal too much, I'm happy. I really like the format that they used for the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer and possibly the Book of Boba Fett trailer we got the other day, where they only use footage from the first few episodes. There is just something really invigorating about going in blind. I can't wait for the series, and if we do get a second trailer, I hope it's epic, but doesn't reveal too much. So finally, my dear friends, we're going to speak about Queen's Hope, the brand new novel, which reveals new details of the time gap between the Battle of Geonosis and Anakin and Padme's wedding. We didn't know exactly how much time had passed between these events in Attack of the Clones, but the new novel has shed some light. So let us dive straight into it. An upcoming Star Wars book will explore further details surrounding the time gap at the end of Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. The first book of E.K. Johnston's Amidala series, Queen's Shadow, was published in March of 2019. The novel explored the inner workings of Padme's transition from Queen of Naboo to Galactic Senator. Then there was Queen's Peril in June of 2020, and now the third installment releasing next April is going to be called Queen's Hope. In a new excerpt from the book, more details are revealed about what actually occurred between the Battle of Geonosis and Padme's wedding. While it's not entirely clear just how much time has passed between the events, the excerpt reveals that the couple returned to Naboo shortly after the battle. The excerpt details Padme and Anakin's individual experiences on the morning after their wedding. And this is where things get interesting. Anakin visits a shrine to Qui-Gon Jinn, while Padme visited Naboo Queen Jamilia. The Queen asked Padme to rescue 5 members of Tirada Collective who were trapped behind enemy lines when the war began. Padme accepts the mission and recruits Anakin by promising they'll be back in time for the ceremony that evening, which is the one we see at the end of Attack of the Clones. So basically, the book fleshes out some of this information in episode 2, so if you're interested, go check out that book, which releases on April 5th. I think the big detail from this is the fact that Naboo built a shrine to Qui-Gon Jinn after his death. And what's even more tragic, given we know what happens to Anakin at the end of episode 3, is that when he visits this shrine in the book, I wonder if he's reminiscing on what could have been. The man who actually believed in him and rescued him from slavery died before Anakin could begin his journey. It's a small detail which really makes you think, and in terms of big themes in Anakin's journey, this is quite significant. It was almost as if he was seeking advice from the man who almost trained him the day of his wedding. And as we all know, had Qui-Gon trained Anakin, he would have been a much better master than Obi-Wan Kenobi and could have swayed him from the path of evil. But what do you guys make of this and everything we spoke about in today's video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Show me some love by giving me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a massive welcome if you are. And also, if you're feeling generous and you want to contribute a little bit more to the channel, then consider becoming a patron. The link is down there in the description, and you get exclusive access to videos that are not found here on YouTube. But otherwise, my dear friends, may the force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. May the force be with you always, and I'll see you tomorrow.